Aloha everyone, Z808 here, and I want to talk about why you should play Challengers Arena today. But before we get into the good stuff, let's take a look at how many players actually finish getting the maximum rewards after 2 full days. So let's take a look at the honor ranking. We have a total of 23 players. That's shocking. Considering there are thousands of players in the global servers, assuming. Does that mean this is a hard mode? And where are all the top 256 Apex playoff players? And why haven't they gotten their 10 wins? Well, this is my speculation. What it is that the time slots sucks. If you look at the time slots, it is 2 hours for the first slot and only 1 hour for the second slot. And the first slot actually overlaps with joint battle. So why can't the second one also overlap with the joint battle so you can give them, every other players an extra hour? No clue at all. So Zlong developers, if you're watching this, please take this to heart. On behalf of myself and many unhappy global players, please add a third time slot similar to what you did for Apex Arena, so the Asian and European players can have a time they can actually play when they're not at work or should be sleeping. Seriously. I'm sure this will only build a stronger Langrisser Mobile community as well as grow the dwindling player base. And not only this event, but even the normal joint battles or even War Arena or any future events where it is limited by time and you need other players, please just make that third slot. It doesn't make sense not to do it. Okay, anyways. Now with that out of the way, let's take a look at why we are really watching this video. And it is for the rewards. And there are 2 types of rewards. The first one is this particular one. You can get 20 crystals, 1 bursting heart key, and 1 rare enchant gift pack. And this is for every win that you get, but it's only for your first 10 wins. Okay, these wins does not need to be consecutive or in the same session, and I explain what a session is. And as long as you win at least 10 games throughout this whole entire event, you can get all the rewards for this particular one. As you can see, there's a timer, not a counter here, 10 out of 10, which is what I got. And you'll be able to get a maximum of 200 crystals as well as 10 rare enchant gift packs. That is very generous. Excellent. Now the second type of rewards are the ones located here in the middle in these 3 chests. And if you look at them, they are extremely good. Nice, gold is always good, SSR accessories is good, and it's 4 pack and it's 5 random arena stones for the first one. For the second one is 100 crystals, 3 mastery stone gift packs, and then, oh my god, 15 rare enchant gift pack. That is like a lot of money that they're giving away literally for free. So this is, I think, everyone's sort of goal is to look for this particular treasure chest. And the last one is also quite good. The 200 crystals, 3 surge stones, and it's a selection pack. You can pick that. But this is where the big bang is. It's 8 packs of 5 random. So this is very generous. And I think the common confusion is like, how does this exactly work? So basically, what I call a session is when you start the session, as long as you win 3 games, you'll be able to get this. If you win 7 within that session, you can get this, and then if you win 10, you can get the maximum of this, all 3. However, within that session, is either you win 10 first or lose 3 first. Whichever happens, the session will end. Now, for example, you can win 3 games, you get your first chest, then you lose your next 3 games, which you only play 6 games, the session will end because that's the first thing that happened. Or another example is you win 3, you lose 2, and you win 4, you actually get the second one, and then if you either win the rest of it, or if you lose 1, which is a total of 3, then the session is over and you have to start all over again. Another quite common question is, let's say if you got the first chest and you get the second chest and you lose 3 games after that, what happens is that you can start a session, right? You can, once you start the session, when you get 3 wins again, you actually get nothing. This is already been taken. You only can win this once. Same with this. So you, in order to get the final one, you actually have to win a maximum at least 10 games before you lose 3. Okay, I know that's quite confusing, but I think once you, if you still have questions or if you still want to get like the official explanation, you can actually click on this eye icon and it will explain to you what I just did. So please take a look to see what actually makes sense. Okay, I'll let you read that, but I think I explained it fairly good. Hopefully that helped. Now, the second reason why I recommend playing this event is the ability to try new heroes that you may not have or built. There are quite a number of heroes, and Zlong even gives you different gear sets and enchants to experiment with. Now, this is a great way to test out the new heroes and even soldiers without wasting any resources. So if you didn't already know, you can actually change your gear and enchants by clicking on this little blue icon here. By clicking on this, you can go here and you can see, as you can see, you can scroll through the different weapons. So you can be creative and use a Mimir's War Axe, or if you want to go for maximum disruption, you can use Balance Blade. And all the enchants are already set. As you can see, they're exactly the same, so you can get a feeling. Same thing with the armor. You can have different choices here with the helmet as well as the accessory. And not only can you choose the different items here, you can also choose the enchants. You can go 2 and 2, or you can go 4. So for Betty, you can either go Full Moon, or you can go with, you want to go with a tank, you can go with Thorns, or you can experiment with Ice. So each hero has different selections. And the other great thing is all the hero soldiers are fully built already, maximized, as well as I believe it's, I don't know if it's 70 or it is 80%. That's kind of hard. Well, actually, let me take a look. So this is 879 as a guardian, 879. So let's take a look. I have 70 training. So let's see, 879 guardian soldiers. Oh, okay. I gotta go to Betty. Sorry. Let me go to Betty. Let's go to Betty. So if you go to Betty, you go to my Betty here. If you go to the soldiers and you go here, 879. Okay, so it's 80%. That is not 70. It's 80%. So the training for this particular event is 70. So what that means is that every single unit have these crazy nice enchants with HP and very well balanced, as well as really strong soldiers. So single target trying to one-shot the characters are actually quite difficult, and that's why you see a lot of AoE and AoE debuff out there playing them. So again, the soldiers are 80%, and all their techs, I believe, are also maxed out. So very durable, tanky soldiers out there. Okay, but I went with Full Moon if you want to kind of copy my build. Okay, so again, and you can also change the skills, you can change the item, change the enchants, change the soldiers. While the gears has to be done, during the setup phase. Once you get, and last thing is you can also change the class. So if you click on the class, you can go between Swordmaster and Empress, whatever you want, free to do whatever you you want. That is so nice. It is a free gift from Zlong for you to try out different heroes, and in fact, if you look at it, that's a quite a large pool of heroes that you can experiment with. So yeah, have fun, and even if you're not level 70 and you're level 50, if you unlock this event, you can play around with it and maybe plan for your future. So highly recommend you just fooling around and trying different heroes and having a blast. And even if you lose, to redo a session is only 50,000 gold. That's easy to come. Okay. I guess with that said, and you're probably looking at my team and you're wondering, is like, bruh, you don't have any healers. Well, the answer is yes and no. I have hybrid healers, and they do the job just fine. And as you can see, I have actually completed all 10 wins that I needed. So they are effective. That's for sure. But then also, if you look at the box that I'm using, it's very difficult to pick ban against because there are so many threats. And of course, Rachel is the only character out of this entire pool which has Gospel, and Gospel is godly because there's so many debuff characters out there. So that's one reason why I have her in here. But of course, if we're gonna highlight someone, it's gonna be my favorite, Betty, as many of you all know. So I would like to showcase 3 characters, Betty, and then I'll go the next two to what they are. But I do want to show you with an example of why Betty is so good in this this particular event. So let's see here. I believe it is with this particular game with Joshua. Okay, yeah, I do have my Betty, and this is what happened. So you're gonna see a lot of the 2 tanks, both Landius and Juggler, and they're super tanky, very difficult to like basically kill. So what do you do in that case is you let them make the mistake. You actually skip through it. So here we are. So I believe, yep, here we go. So they're gonna jump in with Juggler, and if you have Betty and if they hit a lot of your characters, guess what? Massive damage to them. And by doing that, now this gives us the opportunity, because it's already, Juggler is already damaged, to kind of finish him off, because normally he jumps ahead of everyone and it's a bit too difficult to heal him up. So that's one good example of why Betty is really good. And same thing, right? If Listel try to AoE me, she'll get damage. If Angelina AoE me, she'll kick damage. And all the other fun AoE characters trying to damage you, well, good luck. Betty's gonna make you pay for trying to do that. So the question is, well, wow, Betty is OP, and I try to pick ban, and let's say you try to do the pick ban and you end up giving them Betty. How do you counter her? Right, so OPP. So let me show you in this example. So here, so with Krios. So here we are. So correct. So they protected their Betty because when they saw, and they banned my Betty because when they saw my box, they see AoE, 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 AoE. They like, yes, come hit me, right? So what do you do when in that case? So let me show you. And I believe it is round 3. So we have gotten together a little closer. They're all kind of clustered together. If I try to, as you can see, my Licorice has already been taking damage, you know, hitting Juggler and taking punishment from Betty. So I have 1, 2, 3, 4 characters that should be able to AoE, but I can't. What do I do? So this is what you can do. So hit me, that hurts, ouch. I AoE them back, but of course if I hit them, then I get hit by Betty, and that sucks. So you can sleep her. Now, what does sleep do to Betty? So let me explain a little bit. When you put Betty to sleep or any type of stun, right? When she is stunned, her talent, which when you attack someone, actually does not take effect. So that is her counter. Okay, I'm telling you right now, if you sleep Betty and she is stunned, you can AoE to your heart's desire and you won't take damage back. Now, of course, my opponent knew that, and now see what the opponent do. Made a mistake by pulling them back. Right? She pulled the damaged people back, but that doesn't help because now both of these characters are exposed. When you have exposed characters and the tank is away, then it just makes it extremely difficult for them to do their job. And then in a juggler with a unbuffable debuff, it just makes that juggler kind of useless. But anyways, as that's the counter for Betty. If you ever wonder how to kind of counter her. The other one is if you don't have a tank, then you have to single target her down. But if they have a tank, it's really difficult. So do yourself a favor, use sleep, use clock on Bozo, clock sleep, and you'll be all good. Okay, moving on. Now, the last little tip that I can suggest is using, it's when, specifically when you have 2 tanks, and you also don't need to fraction buff your team, because if you look at it, they specifically ban Rachel and they specifically ban Listel. Means my faction buff for Landius is for himself, which since I have 2 tanks, I'm not overly concerned. So what I did is I bought Rout. Okay, bringing Rout is extremely good because if you look at their team, they can't prevent the stun. So that is excellent. And this is also another one of those where Betty is gonna shine, I believe. Let's take a look. So was it 2? I think it's the next round. So let's just take a look at real quick. So we slowly kind of edge towards each other, eyeing each other out. Turn 3 happens. We're still eyeing each other out. Come in, hit my entire team, which is fine, and take huge damage. Okay, my juggler didn't do too much damage, which is fine, because all I really need to do is damage him. Okay, so now here's the thing. So here is the thing. Very strong Sonya, or at least you think, especially with still being werewolf. And I'm gonna assume she's gonna try to snipe Betty because my 2 tanks are locked down. And you know, chances are she might get one shot, or at least you think she might, right? Even with Daybreak, but with that wind wall proc there, I was able to tank it. The soldiers are super tanky. And her 3C does a heal block, right? So by using this, very decent damage to Juggler. Juggler can heal, the werewolves can heal, so that's just a win for me and allow me to finish her off. And in addition, finish them off there. So right off the bat, 2 of their main attackers and the tank is dead. 5 against 3. Now my opponent was quite strong and made a comeback, but towards the end is 2 versus 2, and I have sleep with Bozo. That's a win, but the biggest win is actually right here. Okay, I'm hurt badly, I can't heal, but guess what? Rout saves the day, because what happens when you stun someone in the fog? That's a dead Eggbird. Sorry, Eggbird. Okay, so again, depending on your setup, don't forget that you can switch your skills around, and Landius with Rout towards the end of the towards the end game, it's extremely useful. And that's really it as far as tips that I can recommend. Now I know there are a lot of different setups, and I think Air did an excellent job in making some recommendations. How you are going to build your team is you have to experiment a little bit with it. But I can tell you right now, tomorrow is Saturday, Sunday, the weekend. Everybody, including the grandma, the dogs, and even their car, is going to be playing because the rewards are so nice. There are going to be a lot of people probably rage quitting because they keep losing. But hang in there, and even if you can't win all of these special prizes, at least trying to get your 10 wins throughout this event, and it's definitely worth your time. Now with that said, thank you so much for joining me today on my recommendation for the Challengers Arena. And if you enjoy my content and you would like to see more of it, please remember to like, share, and subscribe. And also love to hear your comments on how well or how badly you did with this specific event. And also if you agree with asking Zlong to give us a 3rd slot for these type of events. Anyways, thank you again for your support. Take care and aloha.